meet Steve. He's the CEO and the original brewmaster for the Tommyknocker Brewery here in Idaho Springs.
Welcome back to Colorado.
Hey, Steve, good to see you again, my friend.
bro.
How are you doing?
Doing great, doing great.
Came in, we thought we'd stop in and see you and see how things are going with the brewery.
Well, welcome to Colorado. Beautiful day.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Tommyknocker Brewery. Let's go and see what's
Absolutely
going on in there.
Let's do it.
beautiful. All right, let's do it. So we're inside the brewery right now, and tell us a little bit about the history of Tommyknockers and about the brewery itself and any historical information you can tell about it.
Well, going way back, this area was frontier land in 1859. George Jackson came up, he was exploring the area, and he found gold in the creek right over here, a stone's throw from the brewery. Because of the discovery of gold, this area started the whole Colorado gold rush. There was nothing here at the time. 30,000 people moved to the area to try to get rich on the gold in this area. Idaho Springs popped up. Then you fast forward to about 1995, and we've been a brewery here ever since, so about 27 plus years. This building was built in 1892. It was originally the Placer Inn, which was a stage stop, then it was a rail stop, then it was a bus stop, it was a 4-star restaurant. There was orchestras and jazz bands that played here. This was a spot where it was a destination. The bus company that built the Placer Inn wanted a high-end place to get more money for the ticket sales for bus riders. This was the edge of the frontier. Theodore Roosevelt came here as a vacation spot because from here to go any farther west was an adventure. It was a hunting grounds and stuff like that. There was nothing that way.
Okay, Steve, tell me, you guys have brewed the wort, is that the right
This
term?
is making the wort right here.
Okay, and so what's happened here? What are we doing now?
So we have a 55,000 pound silo out back full of malted two-row barley. Looks like this, comes out of the Great Plains states. It's kind of like the white flour if you're going to make bread or something.
Okay.
And you can take malted two-row barley and malt it to all different degrees.
Okay.
This is about as dark as it gets right here. This is chocolate malt, super dark bitter. A little bit of this gives your beer a lot of flavor and color.
How'd they get that? How'd they get that color?
They take the two-row and then through a steeping process of moisture and temperature, and they roast it like you would a coffee bean, and they just give it color. And there's proprietary, like there's floor malting, there's tower malting, and depending on where you get your malt from, it can give your final product a distinctive flavor profile. So this is crystal malt. This is in the middle of the spectrum between chocolate and two-row, and I recommend tasting a kernel of that. It gives you a little sweetness. It gives you what the backbone of beer is. Not bad. You know, there's nutrition in there.
A little caramely, a little sweet.
Yep. The brewer comes in, prints the recipe. The grain goes through the mill, goes into the mash tun here. It goes into the mash tun under a specific temperature, mixing with water. And then there's an enzymatic conversion that takes place through temperature and moisture. And all the starch that's in the grain gets converted into simple sugars. And there's a full screen bottom in here. Valves get thrown over here. And then the wort, the fluid that comes out, is called wort, goes over to the kettle. And what the byproduct right here is the crushed up spent grain, which is barley.
What do you guys do with that afterwards? You just throw it away?
Well, this is actually considered gold medal feed for cattle. And in Colorado, we have a lot of feedlots where the cattle go, and this is worth a lot of money for fattening up the cows before they get processed. But it's also becoming popular for human consumption. Here at Tommyknockers, quite a few years ago, we developed a tortilla chip. And this tortilla chip, you can see the flecks of spent grain in there.
Wow.
And we designed this tortilla chip because we sell a lot of nachos. And this chip is firm and unseasoned. Normally, when you eat it, you taste the salt and the different spices. Well, this is designed for nachos. It holds up. It doesn't get soggy as fast as the traditional chip. And it's available through all major food suppliers in Colorado, to restaurant suppliers, and we sell a lot of it. So this gets raked into this tub, goes out back, and then it either goes to, right now we give a lot of it to a heritage farmer where he raises heritage pigs. And the other part of it goes to make our tortilla chips.
Very good. So clean it all out, start all over again.
Yep. And from here it goes over to the brew kettle and turns into wort, and then we flavor it with hops.
So Steve, what's going on in the bucket?
Right here, what's going on is fermentation. There's a process, a biological process that's been going on since the beginning of time. Basically, what we're doing here is we took an aseptically clean fermenter. We took the wort that we created in the mash tun and boiled and sanitized in the kettle, flavored with hops, put it in the fermenter, added yeast, biological organism, that we took from another fermenter that has developed a house flavor profile because we use it over and over. We introduce it into this vessel, and a biological reaction happens when yeast circulates around there and it's eating the sugar for food.
It's like sourdough. You have your own kind of special
Same kind of
fermentation
thing.
bacteria sitting off to the side.
Yep. So if you can visualize all these little Pac-Man yeast cells cruising around there, eating the sugar for food, a byproduct of them eating their metabolism is they burp up CO2 and they're excreting alcohol.
We're going to taste some of this right now. Is this actually almost finished?
No, this is just in the very, very beginning process.
So how's this going to taste now compared to
sweet and malty?
Sweet and malty. I've never tried that before. Let's do it.
Okay, pull sample from right here. Some cultures actually, this would
very
be a
sweet.
Finished product. Like we have sodas. In some cultures, they actually call this malta, and they carbonate it, bottle it, and the kids and people drink it.
This is really good as it is right now.
How good is it?
Well, I know a guy, my friend Dr. Duke Nguyen. He's a GI doctor from Orange County and an expert on gut health. Let's have him join the conversation and talk a little bit about just how good it is.
Thanks, Bill. So Steve, you probably know that beer has been around since antiquity, the Babylonian times of 6000 BC.
Okay.
Not only does it give us more fiber to our GI tract, being a fermented compound, it has polyphenol. Polyphenol feeds the bacteria, the good bacteria in our GI tract, increasing our immune system because 80% of our immune cells are from the GI tract. So drinking beer is good for you.
I told you I knew a guy. All right, so Steve, we're now in the side where magic's already happened. Now we got to get it out to the customer. Tell us a little bit about what we're doing in this part.
Well, this is a pretty modern version of a small can line. Right here, this machine sucks the oxygen out of the can, puts CO2 in there, and puts the product, which is Thunderberry today. Thunderberry we use natural flavors products in. It fills it in under pressure, and then over here, it puts a cap on there. And this can, there's tons and tons of technology in this can. There's actually a space-age polymer that coats all the places where the beer is going to come in contact.
So the beer doesn't make any contact with aluminum.
Nope.
Got that coating on it, coating's safe.
Yep. And this machine rolls the seam together so it's hermetically sealed. And we've been canning now for, I don't know, 16 years. And when we started doing it, it was controversial. And now it's like widely accepted. It turns out the can is a really good package for products like beer.
Okay, so from here, where does it go?
Oh, this way. This machine takes the can, wraps the sleeve on there, and there's a ton of technology that goes into these sleeves. It looks like just a piece of plastic, but there's a split material in there. There's a bunch of technology that goes in there. It goes on the can, comes out of the tunnel, and looks beautiful. Adds a little bit of durability to the can, makes it a little bit stronger from damage getting to the consumer. The ring isn't the most sexy package for your can in, but this is the first ever fully photodegradable, biodegradable, recyclable ring. 2 weeks in the sun turns to dust. Bury it in the soil, in 6 weeks it turns to dirt.
That's awesome. Great to hear. Very environmentally friendly and sustainable.
We're the first brewery to use it. We took it 2 years of R&D with a supplier that makes it. 3 months ago, they just released this to the market as being a fully compostable version.
You're on the cutting edge.
Hello folks, how are you?
This is Patrick Desmond, Executive General Manager and Culinary Director for the Tommyknocker Brewery. I can't wait to try what you've prepared for us today and hear a little bit about the food, so take it away.
This is our famous burnt end sandwich, our #1 selling item on our menu. This bun is actually a proprietary bun for us as well. Pickled green tomatoes, one of my favorite childhood snacks, as well as fresh onion rings.
Okay, all right.
And tomatoes are pickled in-house.
Here's our fish and chips, our second #1 item. Our mountain melt with our award-winning green chili, right here. Here you are. Fish tacos. Here you are. Garlic truffle fries.
Oh, that looks awesome.
And buffalo wings.
Wow, very nice. I've heard you made some major changes on the culinary side of things.
I want to say enhanced our product, elevated our product for sure.
Right.
We've also gone ahead and put together some healthier items for us as well. Seared tuna tataki, grilled salmon sandwich with a hot honey drizzle and a cucumber salad as well.
That sounds yummy. I have to say, I've been here before, and I don't recall the restaurant being quite this busy, so you must be doing something right.
We're doing a lot of great things. You know, we have a great team, a great family atmosphere, which is something that we promote as well. The new renovation to our bar is just, it's really added a great punch as well.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Patrick. I really appreciate the introduction, and I can't wait to try the food.
Excellent. I'll be back.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So, Steve, I'm honored that Tommyknocker uses our flavors in your beverages, your soda pops, your beers. A lot of that's due to you. You've been a loyal customer. We've had this great tour. We've seen how some of the beers are made. Tell us a little bit about the beers we're trying.
Well, the one you're drinking, Bill, is our Blood Orange IPA. It's our #1 beer, and it has been for years since you and I figured out the equation to make it as good as it is. A couple of things that we did is we figured out using the zest of the orange.
Yeah.
Real blood oranges, was where the components are that make that nice versus the fruit of the orange, which is kind of how everybody started out making these citrus IPAs. And then you and I figured out this little punch of Nature's Flavors emulsion that we put in there, topped it off, and was a perfect nuance to make it a complete, beautiful blood orange citrus IPA.
Which I might add, that blood orange emulsion is made with blood oranges. So it's a secret recipe. It gives Tommyknockers that advantage over other blood oranges. And we've taken the best of the blood orange and got it into a concentrated flavor so that you can make something very unique and special to Tommyknockers.
Yeah.
How about, what are you drinking?
This is the peach sour, which is a Philly sour stout, which is a pretty new way to make sour beers, which is a yeast that was derived from a college student in Philadelphia that figured out that there's a yeast in the stomach of a honeybee that produces lactic acid that also ferments maltose and it's in beer. So we start with that, give it the sour component, and then we hit it with a little peach wood from Palisade, Colorado that we ferment, and then we top it off with a little bit of your peach emulsion.
Wow, so here we go again with those beneficial bacteria, right?
Yep.
Making something good out of bacteria. And what is Dr. Duke drinking?
That is our Tundra Berry. And that one, we've worked with you for, 20 years.
Long
You've been getting
time.
the product from you for this one. It's a light lager that we put in mixed berry. And it's an amalgamation of berries. And we call it Tundra Berry. We just made up a name for that kind of berry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I've been dying to have a drink all morning, so it's now
Cheers.
afternoon, and
All right.
it's good.
Cheers.
Cheers.